we worst case scenario ourselves to death, I am going to best case scenario myself to life. Hello, Happy New Year. My name is Mr. Santarpia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Instagram or TikTok, thank you. I want to make a video on goals that I'm setting for myself in the new year. I've always been someone who set a lot of goals, and what better way than to start with my first long form video for YouTube, and I'll clip it up so it can go on the other platforms too. So if you're new to me or my content, my name is Mr. Santarpia. I'm currently a middle school art teacher for just about a decade, and I've been an artist for over a decade. I've shown my work in over 5 countries, in film festivals, in exhibitions, art fairs, multiple means of exhibit, and I love what I do as an educator. It's such a gift to teach. I truly love it, and it's so much fun, and it's so hilarious, and it's so meaningful and fulfilling. And I'm also a public speaker, and that's something that's on my list to do more of. I've given a commencement speech to Stony Brook University's 23 graduating class from the art and art history department. I've spoken at Cornell. I've done a couple other lectures. I spoke at an arts high school last year. I believe I have some experience as a person and as an artist and as an educator that I want to share. I just want my voice to be, I want my platforms to be of positivity, where I'm sharing, whether it's resources, entertainment, joy, projects, my own artwork, my own art practice, some mindset guides, things like that. Mindset guides, like my own mindset. So I'm going to talk about some goals that I have set for myself. I've done goals for a long time, big whiteboards, got them for my wife. We would do like big goals. I'd put them on neatly organized tables on a Google document and keep them printed out. All very valuable. On this channel, I'll also be doing some longer form teacher projects for YouTube that I'll clip up, or how I've done short form, 1 3-minute project videos on Instagram or TikTok about what I'm doing in the classroom. I'm going to do some longer form versions of those. And one that I do at the top of the year is on Jasper Johns, but I make it about setting goals. So these are my SMART goals. That is an acronym if you're new to the lingo, and it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. Okay? So I have 4 categories for my goals. Content-related, my own art practice, art-related goals, fitness and wellness goals, and mentality or mindset goals. Let's start with content. Let's start with the juicy stuff. I started making teacher content in October, and I'm lit. And it's going really well, and I'm really having a great time with it. I want to have in 2026 a 2 million view video. Not that I care about the views, it's just a milestone. It would be cool. I want to give 5 speeches, whether that's to middle or high school students, whether that's at a teacher conference, whether that's at a university to college students, or in some capacity. I want to generate $20,000 of income through my content from Teachers Pay Teachers. I did pretty well in just 2 months of lesson materials, from doing speeches, from booking, paid speaking gigs. I want to collaborate with certain brands if it's right, and art related. I've been ahead of the game selling prints of my own work. Come on. Those are pieces that I made last year that I'm incredibly proud of. So getting more eyes on my artwork through this content as well. And if money comes from that, great. What I will say at this point too, regarding mindset, what I've been saying on Instagram and what I've been living in, I really did have a very big mindset shift in the last couple of months, which has allowed me to step into who I am more, which is why I'm doing things like this and why I'm able to say what I'm about to say. So much of my life I lived in fear, lack, and scarcity. My lens, my perspective, my filter, it was fear, lack, scarcity. You are probably living with a filter or a lens or a perspective of fear, lack, or scarcity. I'm done doing that. I've let that go. That's old wiring. The year of the snake, I shed that. I live in abundance now. And I'm not attached to the outcome. So yes, these are SMART goals. They're measurable and they're time bound. I am not married to the outcome. I'm in abundance. I'm in the present moment. I'm detached from the outcome, and it's a wonderful feeling. I made the goofiest, silliest, unimportant, unserious video, and last week, and it's got over 500,000 views in a couple days. Have I put more care and thought and effort into other videos that should go viral? I don't care. Okay? That's what's so beautiful about this. Is these are my intentions for my life, for my legacy, these things on this list. If they don't happen, that's fine. I already see them as done. If they don't happen in the first 2 quarters, if they don't happen in 26, but they happen in 2030, I am so detached from the outcome. I know how life can take you on twists and turns. I used to be an athlete. When I talk about my fitness and my wellness goals, I had 2 levels of my spine fused when I was 18 years old. Fresh out of high school, recruited D1, D2, D3 for basketball. Not that I would have played D1, gotten playing time, but I went to a recruiting camp at West Point. I went and played ball with Plattsburgh and Baruch College and this and that. I went to SUNY New Paltz, but I'd never played basketball again since I was 8. I'm 30 now. I've only shot a basketball gingerly, but the fear that I've lived in since then, because life took me on these turns, I'm grateful now that I've reached this mindset, and I know that if I had the mindset sooner, the self-made limits that I put on myself, I would have been able to break out of them sooner. For example, let's say my goal was to be able to do push-ups. I used to legit believe that I could not do push-ups. This was 7 years after surgery. This is as a 26, 27-year-old man, as an employed adult grown man, thinking I cannot do push-ups because my body is not capable or able to. It's dangerous for me. It's not safe for me. I can do 50 at a clip. Not to brag. There are people, I got smoked by a student, a 6th grade student, doing 75 in a row. He did 80 in a row in my face in the middle of the day, no warm-up. And I did 70 straight in front of a class of 6th graders, and he smoked me. So I'm not bragging that I can do 50. But I'm proud of myself that I can do 50. The point is, I put those shackles on myself that I couldn't do them. And that was a lie. That was a lie that I believed. We worst case scenario ourselves to death. I am going to best case scenario myself to life. Okay? So I meandered. Let's get back on point. I know that life can take twists and turns. If I don't achieve the goals, I know what my intention is, and I'm detached from the outcome. I'm not married to the outcome. And lastly, with content, I'd like to try to achieve 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay, so cheers. Subscribe if you haven't already. Health and fitness related goals. I want to play basketball again. I want to join a men's league. I want to get back into the swing of things and start crossing people up again. I miss that. If you're someone with back pain and you have not heard of Low Back Ability on Instagram, Brian Backstrom, his name is literally Backstrom. He has overcome and created such an incredible program that I've only gone along with pieces of it. I haven't bought the program and done the whole thing, but just consuming content like his and like David Goggins have allowed me to break out of these self-imposed limits. That the fear that I was living in was protecting me. It wasn't because I was being evil to myself. I was trying to protect myself, but to a fault. So I want to play basketball again. I want to deadlift for the first time in my life. I want to be able to run weekly. I want to compete in a race this year. And I want to just continue to build my physique. The first times breaking out of my physical limitations with my back and the identity of I have a bad back and because of my surgery was reading David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me and starting to do push-ups and starting to weightlift in around 2022. And I've been able to put on some muscle and train in a way that was smart, where I'm taking care of my body. I'm not being reckless and injuring myself, not just completely lying to myself saying I have no injury, I have no limitations, but really testing what my actual physical real life limitations are, not the ones that I've created in my mind. And then with that same idea, create even more abundance and greater abundance and capability in my own mind. So those are my fitness and wellness goals. As an artist, I want to have one major exhibition. I've been building a body of work since 2021-22 called Trophy Body. I'm so incredibly proud of it. I want to have an exhibition of that work, and I want to have a big reception, have 200 guests come, my friends and all my loved ones and people and followers and a bunch of people, artists, journalists, anybody. I want to have a packed house at an opening and or closing reception. I want to do press. I want to sell books and prints. I want to sell artwork and just feel the energy in that space, all the abundance, and see the reception of my work, the fruits of my labor through an exhibition. I want to build the frames for those pieces like this one. This piece is 43 by 37 inches, the actual piece. This is a print. You can buy these, by the way. So I built my own frames before. The piece on the wall over here, I built that floated frame. I've built shadow box frames for my artwork before, so I want to do that. I have thought about making a book of my own work because I've been very prolific, and I want to document it in a book form, and I just want to continue to expand my practice. So an exhibition, frames, a book, maybe start to build that design out and continue to just expand my practice. I create daily, so just stay on that path. And lastly, I'll close with my mindset goals, which are to continue what I'm living in now, to continue to rid myself, to let the old wiring stay deleted, let it continue to pass me by, stay out of fear, lack, or scarcity, continue to walk away from fear, lack, or scarcity, and stay in abundance, stay focused on my purpose, stay tapped into, as Rick Rubin says, source. I'm very excited for what this year has to offer me. So consider making your own SMART goals. Don't be married to the outcome, though. Just set your intention and just choose. Please consider subscribing, and I hope you have an abundant new year. All right, thank you. This is Mr. Santarpia signing off. I'll see you in the next one.